Let me begin this video by saying that I am a firm believer in that no one is their diagnosis. What I mean by that is that simply because you've been diagnosed with a condition that may force you to change your life to accommodate it, it doesn't have to dominate every waking moment of your life. You're still you, an individual. When I was 7 years old, I was told that my younger brother was different, that he was special. I'd already noticed, of course, but to me he was still my brother. I loved him regardless. My parents explained that the human brain is like a jigsaw puzzle and that you need all the pieces for the jigsaw puzzle to work correctly. But that sometimes jigsaws have a missing piece and that piece stops the jigsaw working. What I didn't know was that my younger brother had just been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. He was 4 years old. I first thought I was different when I was 10. I noticed that I didn't really have any friends. I didn't know how to hold an intelligent conversation with people, so I simply avoided it. I couldn't cope with the social aspect of school. I just couldn't understand it. So I buried myself into books. I tried to learn everything I could about a world that I didn't understand. I felt pretty cool, sitting on a bench by myself reading book after book after book. Why did I have to bother with friends when I was perfectly happy the way I was? But I know now that books were my escape. They didn't help my issues with socialising. They'd simply delayed the inevitable. At 13, I too was diagnosed with autism. I felt numb. I guess I expected people to ring up with advice or messages of support, but the phone stayed resolutely silent. I asked my mum why I couldn't understand people and why they couldn't understand me, why I couldn't understand the very world that I was expected to live in. I wanted to talk about it. God knows I should have talked about it. But I couldn't. It simply isn't done. I began speech and language therapy, trying to teach myself to be normal. Months and months of learning conversation starters, social cues, when and how to make eye contact and with who, making sure I was paying attention instead of daydreaming, recognising facial expressions and body language, learning how close I could be to someone without invading their personal space. It was a complete whirlwind of appointments, meetings and endless practising. Looking back, I guess it helped, but I couldn't do it anymore. Living with autism alone is difficult, but attending school with autism is complete hell. It is complicated, confusing and complex. It's like playing Operation, constantly living in fear that the buzzer will go off. Most days it's a struggle. It's a complete 180-degree turn from my life outside school. Most teachers don't understand autism purely because they don't see it. For example, the school day is strictly scheduled. Every hour I'm in a different subject or doing something different. It's a daily routine. I really dislike altering that routine, so I hold in everything. Anxiety, anger, frustration, fear, everything. Then when I'm alone, everything goes haywire. It's like when you shake a can of cola. You can hear the bubbles fizzing away from the outside, but you're too scared to open it. But then it explodes. These explosions are not what they look like. Sometimes the children are hurt, angry or upset, and they are unable to express their needs. Sometimes they just get so overstimulated that they simply lose all control. Although it might seem scary or downright dangerous, the safety of bystanders is never deliberately compromised. Autism is often expressed through major obsessions, like football, Thomas the Tank Engine, or celebrities. For example, I have many different obsessions. Harry Potter, Disney, Suicide Squad, Pretty Little Liars, Forensic Files. But these obsessions are different and unique to every child. These obsessions often double into stress relievers. Personally, music works for me. It's my de-stress. Some children prefer to walk in a circle or a line or take a certain number of steps and turn around and repeat that. These behaviours are often met with many questions. Why? What? Who? Again, these behaviours are completely different to every child. We are often told to make eye contact with people as a sign of respect. For many autistic children, it's a major stress contributor. I take over 1,000 images of someone's face when I'm looking at them. That is why I have a hard time making eye contact. I'm not being rude. It's just how I am. This is a constant struggle. But every year, on April 2nd, we're encouraged to wear something blue. April is Autism Awareness Month, and the second day is World Autism Day. Autism isn't scary, bad, or the end of the world. And I'm not an autistic person. I'm a person who has autism. My autism doesn't define me. Not anymore.